everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Welcome back to another Good Morning Grief devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I am beyond grateful and thankful for this day, this time, and this opportunity. It's a thankful Thursday. What are you thankful for today? I'm thankful for this opportunity and for our time together to start our day off in the power and the presence of the Lord as we navigate through another Good Morning Grief devotion. As you know, this is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. That's why we shout good morning, because mourning is a good thing. And I am so grateful that you are here with us on today as we dare to prepare to dive into our Good Morning Grief devotion. As you know, we have been in the series, When Grief Shows Up. What do we do when grief shows up? When grief shows up in the morning, when grief shows up in our memory, when grief shows up in all of these different aspects of our life. Today, I want to give you the next installment. It's going to be so good. Today is day 225. We're going to thrive on this Thursday. We're going to talk about when grief shows up in your relationships. What do we do when grief begins to crop up and show up and pop up in our relationships? Let's talk about it, y'all. The Bible says, rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. Romans 12:15. Grief doesn't only change us. Sometimes it changes our relationships too. People you thought would be there, they may disappear. People you barely knew may unexpectedly step closer. Some friends may stop calling because they don't know what to say. Family members may grieve differently than you do. Sometimes the people closest to you simply don't understand what you need. You cannot grieve and it not show up in your relationships. Grief affects everything and everybody. And of course, it changes you. When that change comes, everybody does not know how to handle it. Everybody does not know how to deal with it. Everybody does not know how to respond to it. And so oftentimes, this is what happens when grief shows up in your relationships, right? And this is all relationships. What do you do when that happens? There are people right now, we talked about this before, people you thought would be there more that wasn't. Then you had total strangers that showed up and they were able to do what they were able to do, right? And sometimes we get mad, and sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we cut people off, this, that, and the other. I kind of want to give y'all a different perspective. Sometimes that's warranted. Sometimes it's not. I want you to look at it in this particular sense. Let's say you have some type of wound, you get cut. Let's say you pass out. Let's say something happens, right? And let's say you're in public and you're with all your family and friends, or so you got this wound, you get cut, something, you pass out, something, right? And say you with family and friends who do not have the skill, the knowledge, or the ability to tend to your wound. They don't know what to do with that cut. They don't know how to minister to you in that moment, right? But then say there's a total stranger that comes. Oh, you're cut. Somebody get a towel. Stop the bleeding, wrap it around, pull it tight, right? Say you passed out. Family and friends, they don't know how to do CPR. They ain't never took no course, right? But here you have a total stranger that shows up. Hey, they show up and they start doing chest compressions. They start doing the 1-2, breathing in, breathing out, this, that, and the other. Would you be mad at your family and friends for not giving you CPR in that moment? Right? Would you, I know you would be grateful for the person that did give you CPR, but would you be mad at the ones who didn't? Would you be mad at them for not being able to tend to that wound or that cut or wrap it up, or not having the knowledge to do that? Probably not. You would be thankful for the ones who did, but you wouldn't be mad at them with that. Grief is the invisible wound, right? Grief is the invisible wound. Everybody does not know how to tend to that wound. And I know you think like, Oh, love should just be enough, and it should just make sense. This, that, and the other. It's an invisible wound that everybody does not know how to tend to. So while you are in this wounded state, you got people who are close to you and they love you. They don't know how to tend. They don't know. They don't know how to CPR you. They don't know how to chest compress you. You got total strangers. They they may know how to do it. So they know how to deal with grief. They know how to be compassionate and tend to you. This, that, and they know. And so sometimes we'll get mad at the people who don't, and we'll be glad at the people who do, and then we'll post shady stuff online. Yeah, go through something. You see who's real. And I want to say this: sometimes it's warranted, depending on the nature of the situation, because there's other elements that can be involved. But sometimes you got to give grace because they didn't know, right? And I feel you say, well, Pastor, a phone call. You can show up. Like you could just make a phone call, couldn't you? Or you could just stop by. You could just give me the gift of your presence. Like you ain't have to do that. You just, you just got to go. It's a tricky situation. This is, I get it. There's just a lot of different elements that go into that. When grief shows up in our relationships, everybody don't know how to tend to that. Well, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, they may not know how to tend to the wound. Your parent died and you mad at your spouse because they didn't X, Y, and Z. I'm new at this. This is the first time I had a parent die for a spouse. I didn't know, right? Well, you should know, right? Everybody does not know how to tend to that invisible wound of grief, right? And so every situation is different. I'm not making a generalized blanket statement that one size fits all. I just want to kind of reframe your thoughts and give you a little different perspective, kind of, when grief shows up in relationships and how we kind of deal with that, right? It's important. Second paragraph, that can create another layer of grief. You aren't only grieving the person you lost, you also may be grieving relationships that don't feel the same anymore, right? It's not the same. Things have definitely changed since we've been through this. One of the difficult truths about grief is that everybody grieves differently. One person wants to talk, another becomes quiet. One cries openly, another stays busy. One wants company, another needs space. Different doesn't necessarily mean wrong. Everybody deals with grief differently. And this is the thing. This goes back to relationship. They may be like, well, I didn't know, I didn't think you really wanted to talk. Well, I did, right? It's because from their experience, right? It might be like, I'll just give them some space. Or, they may be wanting to talk. And it's like, well, I'm talking too much. I feel like I'm being annoyed. I don't know. It's just everybody grieves differently, right? Sometimes we mix up cues and we don't see it. We don't understand. But just knowing and understand that everybody does what? Everybody grieves differently, right? Again, one person won't talk, somebody else want to be quiet, right? One person openly cry, one person won't stay busy, the other person don't want to do nothing. The other person can't get out of bed, the other one's out the bed and up and moving, and they real busy. One person wants company, everybody just come over. Other person, no, I just want space. I don't want nobody over. Different doesn't necessarily mean wrong. It's different. Romans tells us to mourn with those who mourn. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give each other, it ain't advice, it's presence. I tell you this all the time. It's the gift of presence. The gift of presence. You're down with GOP. It's the gift of presence. I'm gonna give you the gift of presence. You ain't got advice. I tell you all the time, you ain't got to rush people to wellness. I want to rush you to wellness. Nah, I'm gonna mourn with you who mourn. I'm just gonna sit with you. It's listening without fixing. Come on, cohort. Y'all heard this. Sitting without explaining, loving without rushing, giving one another grace to grieve differently. You may also have to learn to tell people what you need. And I know you're overwhelmed. You got a lot going on. Sometimes people are like, what you need? If you need anything, let me know. I know that may get on your nerves. Yeah, but the reality is, you go to a restaurant, they ask you, what would you like to order? Right? They just they want to take your order and they want it specifically to what you want, right? You don't just say, well, just whatever, just bring me something to eat. They bring you shellfish, you're allergic to shellfish, right? Or they bring you something, they bring you a burger, they put mustard on it. You don't like mustard and onions. This is mustard and onions on the burger, right? There's a reason they take your order, and there's a reason you're specific into articulating exactly what you desire. When it comes to grief, everybody got different needs. And I know it may get on your nerves. What you know, if you need anything, let me know. Sometimes people be lying. Sometimes people they be trying. Some people be lying. Some people be trying. But I want to specifically torsion, and you might not need another dish. You got another. You got enough dishes. You just might want some gift cards so that a day you don't feel like cooking work, you can just get something to eat. What are the restaurants in your area? Let me give you some gift cards. You may not want gift cards. You may want just come sit with me. You may want, like, can you watch the kids while I just get out for a minute? You may be like, can you just come do my laundry? Right? Can you just body double with me? I just need some bills, but I just don't want to sit here by myself. Can we just go out for coffee just once a week or something? Like, I don't know. Can you shovel my snow? Right? I don't know specifically what you need, right? It might be something. Can you help me clean my garage? Right? Can you ride to the cemetery with me? I don't want to go by myself. What specifically do you need? Right? Sometimes it's articulating, tell people what you need. They can't always reach your heart. Sometimes you have to say, I need someone to listen. I need some space today. I need you to check on me. I don't need advice. I just need you here. Grief can strain relationships, y'all, but it can also deepen them. Yeah, it can strain them. It can also deepen them if you let them, right? It can teach us who is willing to sit with us when there are no easy answers. And it can teach us how to extend the same grace to others that we hope they will extend to us. Here's your POA, your point of application. Identify one person you trust and communicate one thing you need from them during this season. Identify one person you trust, communicate one thing you need from them during this season. At the same time, give someone else permission to grieve differently than you do. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 225. I told you we was about to thrive when grief shows up in your relationships. There's so much for you to ponder, for you to consider, for you to think about as you navigate through your season of grief. It's going to show up in your relationships, right? Just want you to be mindful, give you a different perspective, kind of help you, give you some tools, tips, techniques to kind of navigate your relationships when it shows up. Your friendships, your family ships, your relationships, all of these things. I hope and pray this lesson has been a blessing to each and every one of you. Again, I'm on the move today. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Hope y'all pray y'all have a thriving Thursday. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place, for another Good Morning Grief. Oops. Good Morning Grief devotion. We out. Good morning. Oh no, I got to do the whatchamacallit. I'm doing y'all all wrong. Bye.